Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. It's Monster G-Face here, and Fallout bringing all the action. What just concluded was the halfway mark in the competition, which was game number 4. And like we said, it was going to be an action-packed day, and we already are seeing that unfold. I think we just watched one of the most hype end games that we've ever seen. It's a Nas who takes out Mr. Savage, followed by losing a fight to Cammy in a low ground, which is unprecedented, especially when he was on the wrong footing there.
That's exactly right. Right-hand advantage is huge in Fortnite. If you don't know what I mean by that, it's the fact it's a third-person game. The camera's over your shoulder. It leans a little bit to the left, which means when you have cover and you're on the right hand, you do have a little bit of a peeking advantage, which you could take to your advantage instead. Kami with the wiggle strafe comes out on top in that fight. What a crazy finish that was. I gotta say, overall, man, there's been such entertaining gameplay. So many great plays have been made. I'm really loving how competitive Fortnite is shining today with these players playing at such a high level. I'm excited for our second half of the finals as we embark in game number 5.
Absolutely, and I couldn't be more happy to be doing it alongside you. And of course, the DreamHack crew here is delivering quite the spectacle today. Someone who has created quite the buffer for himself here is Mr. Savage. He's got a lot of comfort to deal with as far as the spacing on his point threshold goes. 250 points right now in the competition. And notice, I thought he was getting this spot to himself, but he's not. There's several players landing here. There's 2 there that's playing it off with him. Here's a look at Link, who we saw take the same exact fight in game 1. This is actually the first elim of the day that we saw unfold. It was in the favor of Link. We'll see if he can take out Rocky this time around. The one thing that I did get word on is I kept saying that Hardfine was playing for the Authority, but it turns out he's playing for the pirate ship. There's like this weird boat that spawns around the map, and I think he's playing that flex drop. So kind of interesting to see how Hardfine's doing now. The next time I look at the leaderboard, I'll be paying more attention to him.
Yeah, again, I gave some praise to it earlier, but you got to have some multiple strats in your arsenal, right? There's no reason not to. So I like that he's running a flex strat or maybe an option 2 or 3 type of strategy. Instead of dropping Authority where he's comfortable with, recognized, hey, maybe the fight's not going the way I want it to. He's going to rotate out instead. Meanwhile, Weck in a fight against Gambit. I'm not sure which member of Gambit it was. I only saw the beginning. It's Letwick of Gambit, who dropped Salty early on, but has been dropping southeast side of the map ever since. Link, our second place player from yesterday, on board right now. 29 elims. Wow.
Yeah, Link's kind of on fire here. I mean, 99 points, nothing to scoff at. Remember, first place, though, top 3 is still more towards that 200-point threshold. But, hey, Anas just showed and proved that you can go and make a 70-point swing. All you need is a nice pop-off game coupled with a little end-game action. So anyone is still very much in this game if you're around this 100-point threshold. And Link is very much there. Remember, it's not easy to commit to 8 full games, let alone play out of your brains for all of them. So Link's doing pretty decent so far in the competition.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I've been impressed, very impressed with Link all weekend long. We'll see how he fares in this fight against Rocky. He's been taking a lot of these fights with aggression, though. Hence the 28 limbs from yesterday. Decent start for him, but right now a little half and half. SMG's going to come through. That spray is too strong as Link comes out on top with that fight. The DPS, or damage per second with the SMG, is one of the highest in the game. That was just a gray SMG, by the way, and he comes out on top.
But all right, here's Chapik swinging back around. Quite an interesting turn of events around here at the start of this game, but we have a little bit of a fight. Chapik's kind of struggling here to maintain his point threshold here. Link is having a good day right now. He's, like I said, he's been on somewhat of a hot hands. I think it's looking like it's going to be in his favor, but no, Chapik's going to find the charge shot when it matters. I mean, he had it cooking, followed by the SMG, and just like that, he's the one that's going to win this. So 10 points swinging in his favor now. Pretty decent.
Yeah, only 57 points total, though, so he has a long ways to go. Meanwhile, the Heavy Marauder just took out someone at the top left of your screen. You don't see that every day as the AI putting in work here in our competitive game. On board with Chapix right now, as he's going to spot Letwick in the distance. A good limb on Link. Unfortunate for Link that the third party came through as he was just kind of getting his groove after getting that first pick.
That's right here. Like we said, things are not looking too hot for Chapix here in the competition. 5 games in. Back with Mr. Savage, though. Like we said, Mr. Savage had 2 players here. Breeze looks like it's going to be one of them. The other that was already here is either gone or has already fallen to Breeze here. Good pressure here. The first rifle's not too good for this long-range kind of breaking of structures, but beautiful for tagging players. Oh, no, he doesn't have any more builds left. Yeah, it's not looking too good here.
Does have some heals, though, at least. Mr. Savage would have wanted those shots back to finish that out outright, but now he's going to have to earn it. as we did see Mongrel get taken out by Hardfind at the top left of our screen. So once again, Hardfind playing with some aggression. Mr. Savage, though, this could be a turning point potentially to give someone else a chance for first place. But again, it's Mr. Savage we're talking about here. So clutch in these moments.
Oh,
Can he
no.
somehow with 3 HP survive in this fight? This could be huge.
How in the world did Breeze manage to turn this around? I have no idea, but all of a sudden, it's looking like a fair fight between the two. Savage is going to punish him, though, with a quick shot right there. And Breeze has enough heals to bounce back if he just waits for a couple seconds and lets them pop off. Using that God edit there, though. Yeah, Savage is not going to play any of that. He's going to inch his way up another section here. And that means Hardfind did land back on the Authority if he took out Mongrel. So Mongrel's having a struggle of a day. Good 48 chip right there.
Yeah.
Now Breeze does not have a big pot.
I just got to take a moment. The fight's not over yet, but Mr. Savage is insane. The fact that he, with 4 HP, is now back on top in this fight is absolutely nuts. Mr. Savage, you are officially goated, my friend. One-on-one opportunity here to close this one out in a fight that, again, he had no business winning just moments ago.
If you look at the points, I mean, you can tell this far in the competition it has been going in the favor of Mr. Savage. Breeze is struggling here with only 23 points, but like we said, don't count him out. You saw what he did before with the big tags here, and Savage seems like
he has most of these builds.
Yes, he's going to jump right in and finally wrap things up. Now you're seeing
he deserves the dance.
That's what he deserves. Now you're seeing it.
Dance all you want, Mr. Savage. You deserve every second of celebration after that fight. So brilliantly played. The outsmart made him think that he was going to try and take his wall, but instead just went up and around. He had most of the builds there, most of the edits, and came out on top. That right there shows why Mr. Savage is one of the best Fortnite players in the world at this point.
That's right. And like I said, he's trying to do something that's never been seen before. Go back to back with the DreamHack here for the Fortnite scene. And oh my gosh, Trulex making a complete fool out of Poda there by setting up the crash pad and coming up from over top. He could have just blocked his noggin there, but did not. And just like that, Trulex finds himself with a nice frag this early game. Remember, he can still come back. We just saw Nos. We witnessed him do something incredible in that last game, pushing his way all the way up. All right, Trulex trying to eat some apples here to keep his HP pull up. It's going to be time to rotate.
Yeah, he's going to be lingering in the storm here on purpose. I mean, he recognizes, hey, it's early, only one tick. I can grab some loot. I can grab some mats. Kind of wise decision just to take care of some loot that he knows has not been looted yet, just based on where people have been dropping and playing so far. So that's what you saw right there. Meanwhile, on board with Chapix. Chapix, we know, is one of the players that I believe. Where has Chapix been dropping? I can't remember. Let me pull up my spreadsheet. Craggy Cliffs. He's one of the players that's been dropping Craggy Cliffs. I'm not sure. It looks like he's over
actually
in that area.
In this game. I think in this game though, he started off in Caddy's corner though.
I think he did. I think he changed it up this game. Yep.
Been a while since we've seen, like I said at the start of this, Chapix at the top. Lately, he has been putting up some big performances though. And in solo for Mongrel's Cup, he came top 5, which is very impressive. You're talking recent performances for solo. It's pretty good, but today in DreamHack, not too crazy for the Swede here.
Yeah, and Chapix 156th place in Heat 2, so kind of barely qualified to be here in the first place, but picked it up and with a 35th place yesterday. He's going to actually spot Benji here, and he knows that Benji's there with the fresh builds. There's also an opportunity to get a nice little headshot. Benji's going to see it though. Good roof over his head.
All right, still a bit of a different pace going on here. 74 players still alive right now. You can tell that the nerves are starting to set in. Players are realizing that if they want to do something big, they're going to have to play a little smarter. Hence waiting to take on some of these fights here. Chapix looking for the proper ambush right now, using that nice little low terrain here to play the divot. All he has to do is step up and hit the double burst right here, and this will be a good opener for him. Cannot miss it, and he is going to set it off. Okay, he hits the charge shotgun. Not too bad there. It's going to open up for like 70 on the pop. The double cone control right there, and yes, it's going to be his. Chapix makes quick control and care of Renzi there. That was nicely done.
Yeah. Chapix went from Elmer Fudd to Elmer Dunn right there with a quick elimination. Goes from chilling and posting up to immediately W keying. Gets the kill within a second. I like that setup. I like that play from Chapix. Meanwhile, Axie, player we haven't seen a whole lot of just yet. Leveraging on opportunity to maybe get a flank on Select's very own Diox here. Sniper out.
Does not hit the shot though. Needed that one. He doesn't really have a lot of mediums to do a drawn out extended fight, so Long range is not going to be the play here.
Yeah.
No SMG to follow up with either. It's all tactical play from here on out. We'll see, though. Yeah, he's still just biding time, messing around here in the farms. You can tell that the zone is pulling a bit north this time. He kept talking about how up until this point it was all southern zones, but finally we're seeing another one push a little bit more north. Might it be another frenzy endgame? The western portion of the map hasn't gotten any love today.
I know, it's
all in east.
East, you're right. Oh, baby. We are not done with the DreamHack montage just yet. As it keeps going on, let the song play. Beautiful shot coming through right there on Rotary. Unfortunate for him. And here we go back on with Mr. Savage, who's now in a great position after picking up that 1 versus 1 earlier. Another rotation, another big opportunity. So I went from saying this might be a chance for someone to take first to nope, Mr. Savage is doing Mr. Savage things.
That's what I was going to say. I think Rotary had a top 10 yesterday, too, as an overall finish. So for him to not be doing too hot right now, I wonder where's his stance in. To see that there's a little bit of misfortune for him, though. Mr. Savage having the time of his life right now, battling a group of Marauders while someone's off in the distance moving on in. We'll pay close attention to the feed and how that plays out. Mwaka, though, is going to be jumping into the box of Steelix here. Steelix is absolutely struggling in the competition today. But that's all right. That's okay, because so is Mwaka, both of which are only in the teens as far as the point threshold goes. Savage, though, backing up here. He catches Baffo in the distance. He thought he was going to sneak up on the GOAT. No, no, no. You back it up now. Savage is always on point here. The 2 beautiful grenades right there is all she wrote. He blows up Baffo out of this tourney right here.
Yeah, jeez. He can do it all with any weapon, any loadout. Great situation. He's going to actually get a nice little upgrade in his kit as well. Now on board with Letwick, who we saw play on the southeast side of the map. Now he's running parallel with KS1 Light. We saw a lot of great things out of KS1 Light yesterday. Keep hyping him up. But today, he is in 28th place with 97 points before this game. So, of course, that one limb that puts him at 102.
And I was going to forget, don't forget that in game 1, Baffo was, or in game 2, Baffo was the one that took out Benji in that shambles endgame fight. So, a little bit of a turn of situations here, I'm sure. There's going to be some rooting going on for that one right there. Lytho's doing very, very good in this competition right now. Like, he's hanging in there. It's game 5. Yep. He's hanging in there with 100+ points.
I agree. Yeah, this could be a good game. I like his kit as well. RPG, charged shotgun, AR, and of course some heals to follow. So great kit, great loadout for him. Meanwhile, just got some intel that Sebi currently has the shockwave launcher. So will we see that for the first time in quite some time? And Sebi, by the way, is in 4th place with 183 points going into this game. So that could be big. Light going to pick up nice first couple shots out here on Arso. Will he get the Elam?
Not sure how this is going to go right now, but it's looking good for Light here. As yes, he's going to be able to chip away at Arso here and find himself a freebie. He's in the thick of it. There's so many players here trying to set up house, set up shop. One of those being Mr. Savage, as you can see here, who's also doing the same in another portion of the land. Like we said, he's just outside of the Frenzy Farm right now, north towards that little orchard field.
Staring contest here?
He's just waiting. He's like, what are you going to do about it? If you're holding that, you can't shoot me. Yeah, that's exactly right. He's not going to make the edit.
I like this fight, though. I was just about to hype up Light and say, look, I've been really impressed. I know, yes, Mr. Savage is the GOAT. He's so mechanically gifted, but Light's mechanical skill has been very, very impressive. So I was looking forward to a little battle between the two, and it looks like it's not going to happen here. Savage is going to back out, works his way over to the red barn, using those peppers for the quick rotate out.
That's exactly what he's doing right now. This is basically a free rotate. He can decide what he wants to do. He's going to get beamed while he was looking to plant up on this enemy here. And that guy is going to jump into it. It's Erkin who was there. And Erkin's having a pretty decent time now as well. 130 points. The fact they took out Mr. Savage, guys, gives everyone else a realistic run at first place now, because he was taken out before accruing too many points. I believe he only had, what, 2 eliminations there. So that was just 10 more points. That means that a Nos can take it.
He does have 272 points total, and that's about a 60-point cushion starting this game, so he'll be in a good spot. But you're spot on, Monster. That's an opportunity to narrow that gap, and that really is going to change the narrative of this story, especially with Sebi with the shockwave launcher. He is 80 points behind going into this game, Mr. Savage. But, you know, first place finish and a few limbs, you could be right there in second, maybe even making a run for first. And depending where Anas, and actually we see Anas on screen right now, Anas could take that first place spot.
That's right. It's up to Anas. It's up to players like Teak. If they find themselves in endgame, that's it. That gap, that cushion is going to get closer and closer. I was feeling pretty good for Mr. Savage coming this late into the game with the cushion. I was hoping that he'd be able to slow down his pace, though, to play it a little bit safe, but trying to break away. That's what happens when you play for first. You play to continue to take the lead here. But it's all right. We'll see. This game's going to determine a lot, and it's still unfolding right now. The story is still to be written. Tomzy, though, has had a great performing day as well. Here's a little highlight from Snap, though, jumping down on someone there. The quick body and the quick pump. One and done there. Ref's guard fighting off in the distance, though. Remember, Ref's guard, we got to hear a little bit from yesterday or this morning with the interview. Talking about he was enjoying his time at Retail Rail. I'm not sure how it's going for him so far in this comp.
Yeah, Ref's guard. Keep an eye on him, but 88th place so far, not in the best position. Tom's going to get the elim, and that little harpoon loot. Ref's guard's trying to take it from him, and he says, nope, snap, that's mine. Tomzy gets some solid loot, compact SMG to be able to use right now. We're going to drop it for the AR.
Tomzy with the missed opportunity there. They'll continue to hold down Ref's guard across the current of the zone there. But it's okay. Ooh. He's going to find a new shot that he needs to make. And just like that, Ref's guard is basically a walking delivery for material and stuff. Picking up all of the loot that he had earned there and bringing it to the zone. On behalf of Tomzy, here's a look at Benji Fishy. 100 points in the competition.
That was a clean one shot right there for Tomzy. Again, been very impressed by his play. Again, coming from Wales, the only player from Wales in this competition. We'll see what he can do on board of Benji right now. Tomzy in 15th, Benji in 25th heading into this game.
Top 25, not too bad. Like we said, when first place gets the brakes put on, that gives everyone else an opportunity to close the distance of the competition. There are others that are obviously closer to it. And once again, if you're tuning in a little late here, guys, into the DreamHack Open, this is game 5 right now. Monster D facing Fallout here on the mic. We're approaching that mid-game intense moments where everyone's going to start planting down, sitting down, and the information gathering begins.
One thing to keep in mind for prize pool and implications, top 35 will get you a stack, $1,000 if you place top 35 in this competition in EU. So that's kind of an important, nice little measurable spot. If just for making it here, you get $300. So either way, you're going home with some cash. You'd love to see it as part of that $250,000 prize pool split up.
Not too bad for a day of Fortnite here on a Sunday.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Haj, though. Looking around right now, trying to see what he can connect with. A couple players are going to be in a distance here. Remember, we saw Snap's little highlight reel. Catching a couple of shots, popping off. Yeah, Snap's looking to turn up right now. Little does he know, he's jumping into the wrong box, though. Haj is going to connect that purple charge pump. You see what happens there. It's going to be a 1 pump to the face. The AR follow-up. Here's Letwick, though, hanging out inside of the bushes now. A little bit of a hayfield. Getting the nostalgia vibes back to the old days. This is a viable strategy. Another little highlight here for Benji Fishy, who's going to find himself a little frag amongst all the other chaos that's unfolding. And look at the congestion on the lobby. It's all held on the southern portion of the map here because the zone is pulling north. Mawaka is still in the game as well. So you get a picture-in-picture of the two Gambit boys.
Yep, and it will be the Frenzy area biome yet again. So very flat farmland. It looks like my home state of Illinois here, or Iowa, as it's going to be no mountains. Much different than we saw in game 3, game 4, and 5. Very similar in this finish. Benji Fishy, you see on the far left of your screen, we got Gambit Mawaka and Letwick from Gambit. The Gambit boys trying to make a big statement here as they haven't seen a ton of success here as of late.
That's a name we haven't really touched on in the competitions today. Zinni in the game. He's got to be trailing somewhere behind. He was also trailing in his qualifications yesterday as well, just barely scratching through top 100. But, got to give shout outs to anyone that made it this far. Ultimately, someone has to end up towards the bottom. And hey, it's okay to be amongst the best of the best. Making it this far is a feat in his own. And like we said, everyone's a winner. You do get to walk away with some cash. Letwick looking to make some more cash, though. He tries to get a point, but gets punished for it. He's all up in these enemy builds, and no, must have been trying to build a wall there. And yes, he's gonna hit the shot. On the heels though, backing up and running from Scrib, but still manages to find the mark when it mattered most. Talk about players, Jordberry as well.
Scrib with 9th place. That was a big elim. That's not going to be looking good for Scrib here. Meanwhile, Jordberry with the double, making it look easy. And here's the point, kind of half and half circle. This is when you typically see things are going to start ensuing. We saw a little bit of a lull moments ago, but expect absolute madness. And as I say that, the montage continues to roll. Letwick connects for a headshot there with the hunting rifle. Great job from him to take his time with that shot, connect with the headshot, and not have to worry about any build fights or box fights after.
And that was on to Flois. We spoke with him, saw that little interview roll this morning. So unfortunate. Players, notable players that I'm already seeing in this game here. Castery still alive on that northern half there. I'm seeing Falcony for the first time in quite some time. M10 Pepper still in this game right here. Kinzel, who got bodied by the crash pad player earlier today, but still in the running right now. A few others like Airkin, who's very much on the bubble for breaking into top 10 right now. Let's continue to try and read the names throughout all the chaos there. I see Andretta towards the top. Trulex still in it. Cammy still in it right now. Lanouf finally finding his footing towards the mid game here. Out comes the launch pads though. Everyone's taken to the air. Benji Fishy being the one leading it. It's Kinzel's on the other side of the barrel though, trying to lay down shots. Someone's on the storm line here. He's the security guard though. He's not letting anyone into the club right here. He's backing everybody. That's right. Show your ID, kids. There it is. They gets put down as well. Denied.
This is the bodyguard of the most poppin' club in Miami right now, it looks like. Or maybe in Iowa, actually, based on where we're at. Not sure how poppin' that is, as Kinzel gets a couple good elims. 2 to his name right now. Benji Fishy on screen. Let's jump on board with him, as Benji has 1 crash pad to his name and a launch pad. So some good mobility here going into this late game. Expect him to use those crash pads to his advantage, but he needs to survive this fight first. Yes, he does. Controller-esque accuracy coming through right there for Benji in the box fight. Brilliant gameplay with that SMG. He's going to hold on to it.
Yes, he is. And he puts that up onto Doko there. And now it's a battle for Hype Mawaka versus M10 Pepper here. And Mawaka does a good job to bring down Pepper. And now Mawaka does have control, but it's not looking too stable up there. The crash pads are going to come out. He's going to have to default to giving it up. So we bring our focus back to Benji down in the corner now. Benji's trying to make this full-on rotate. He's having some enemy builds. You see the ramps coming out, trying to protect himself. It's just getting closer and closer. This is looking pretty intense for him, though. He does have just enough material to continue to push through, though. Tries to pad across. Use it rather than lose it in this situation here.
That's true.
And now he's past the mini.
Best use of the... I'm not sure if that's the best use of the launch pad. Just low ground. They make a whole lot of distance with it, but you're right. Might as well try and take care of it and use it rather than getting taken out and losing it. And on board still with Benji. Looks like Jordberry's going to get taken out the top of your screen here. Benji now with not a whole lot of mats to his name, so you're going to see him continue to kind of low ground warrior this type of fight. Wants to stay on that low ground and survive as long as he can. Benji, the opportunity to flank and get a limb, not going to do it. Needs to be careful though. The push is going to come through. Benji, nice quick edit, gets 1. Can he get 2?
Needs to continue this here. A player that I saw there, though, Teak is still in the game. Remember, first place is up for grabs. The fact that Teak has made it this far is huge for the competition and the story that's unfolding here. Benji Fishy still, though, tearing up a rampage now, as is Letwike up on the other portion of the picture here. They're both in the low ground right now. A little bit of a crank coming out from Letwike. Trying to come up, though.
Yeah. And Kami's still alive in this as well. So we have another top finisher from last game. Benji going to connect. Speaking of Kami, see you later. It's actually Letwick, who takes him out. Nice play from him.
Oh my God.
Alive. Letwick gets the double. It all comes down to these 8 players remaining. And guess what? That's a huge double, as you're going to have the shockwave launcher and the charged shotgun to your name as a result. This is Letwick's game to lose.
Letwick is in it right now, and the big come up, this shockwave can basically guarantee him height right now. He also has the builds to maintain it, but like I said, I'm looking at Teak, who's still alive, just found second height here. A fight's happening right up above him. Can he get a piece of it? Here's Lanouf's perspective, though. He's trying to put up a fight right now, trying to get into it. No HP down. He's going to default to the low ground. He's going to find someone there as well. Snazzy's going to fall there. Going to take a look, though. Lanouf moving around. Letwick all the way on ultimate height. Finally, Teak gets taken out of the competition. Lanouf is going to just mosh through Trulex there in his Hajj, who jumps onto Mawaka. And now Hajj is in a sandwich that he does not want to be a part of, especially not in the middle here, as he's getting shot from Letwick, who has height. Lanouf finds 5 full seconds to pop a big pot, so he's very much in this game here. It's not looking good for any of them, though.
He needs to be smart with these shockwaves. Only 2 in his inventory, make it 3, I believe. So he'll use those wisely. Lanouf low ground, Letwick on high ground. Just going to take their time here as this circle is going to get smaller and smaller. But Letwick, again, we said it earlier, it's his game to lose undoubtedly, as he's just going to let those shockwaves rip as soon as he can break this cover. I'm surprised he's not doing more damage to this cover right now. And there you go, that's 1. See you later, as 1 more is going to come here momentarily. It's going to be Hidge that's actually taken out from Mawaka. Some way, somehow, but Letwick is the one alive. So interesting situation there. But now comes down to this. Letwick pushing. Lanouf in a position here. Both in the storm. They're going to have to fight in the storm. It's going to come down to whoever hit the shotgun shot. They both connect. Who's going to be the one to get the final shot? Doesn't even matter. The storm will take care of Letwick. It's going to be Lanouf, our champion in Heat 1 of our European Friday qualifiers of athletics. Is going to do it again with a victory. Massive win comes through for Lanouf. We will be breaking down the action right after this short break. What's up, everybody? My name is Fallout. I am a shoutcaster this weekend for the DreamHack Open and a shoutcaster for Fortnite. And today, however, as important as Fortnite is, we're going to be doing something way more important. We're going to be rating music because you know how we get down here at DreamHack. We have some fun with it. So I'm going to be rating some songs on a scale of 1 to 10 Fallouts is the rating. Let's get started. Ooh. I get some very serious, like, 70s crime show vibes out of this one. If I'm at a club, I'm dancing to this. I'm dancing to this for sure. 100% dancing to this. I'm going to give that 6 Fallouts out of 10. Okay. This has some serious, like, garage band, you know, like someone made this on their Mac or something type of vibes to it. In comparison, especially to the other songs, I'm gonna give that 2.5 out of 10. I'm looking for like a nice EDM song with the bass drop, like my man Shio had. Where's that at?
Okay, here we go.
Ooh. Ooh. Yeah. My name is John Keffel. All the ladies say hello. My favorite color is yellow, and I eat a lot of Jello. It's got like a little bit of a Scandinavian, maybe an Icelandic type of fiddle to it. So I'm gonna give that a 4.5 out of 10. Yeah. DJ Ruben knows how to get me excited. This is what I'm talking about. It's summertime, 2020. I wish I was on a beach somewhere, you know, like a beach club or something. Listen to that song. I liked it. I'm a lot happier about that one. I'm going to give that one a 7.5 out of 10. 7.5 to close it out. Well, that's going to be it for me. Rating songs and giving them Fallouts. I must say that was a first. Shout out to DreamHack. Stick around for some more Fortnite right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. We just finished game number 5, where it's none other than Lanouf who's going to be taking the victory royale right now. Finally, Mr. Savage actually going out in 66th place in that last game right now, but still clinching first place.
Kind of crazy to think about Mr. Savage just coming out on top there, Fallout.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He gets out early, which again is going to open things up for other players. We talked about that storyline, that possibility. But he had such a cushion. I have a feeling he's going to still be sitting in first place. Lanouf, on the other hand, was in not sure what place he was in early on. I'm trying to find him. He was 25th place with 121 points before that game, I believe. So that's going to shake things up quite a bit. Really good finish, though, from Lanouf. You thought that it was going to be the Gambit's very own that was going to come out on top of the Shockwave launcher. Instead, Lanouf comes out with the win.
You know what's crazy, Fallout, is that he's actually at 25th place with the Victory Royale.
Oh, good call. All right. Thanks for clarification there.
Lanouf has had a few rough games at the start.
Yeah. So he absolutely needed that showing right there to get a little bit of a jump in the standings, but still some work to do.
Yeah, speaking of work to do, Teak so close now to Mr. Savage, only 3 points behind right now. It definitely seems like Mr. Savage could possibly give up the first place spot in this next game. We're not going to know everyone, but let's quickly go over a lot of the, let's go over the scoreboard that we see, the top 20 players, so that you guys can kind of get an understanding of where we are after game number 5. 3 games are left to collect as many points as they can. And you definitely want to take first place, right, guys? It's $16,000 for first place, and then it drops down to $8,000 to second. That's $8,000 difference and a big, important change.
That's right. But this top 5 is looking so close. These are your competitors to keep your eye out. Savage, of course, is leading the brigade here, but Teak, Sebi, Cammy, Anas, all of which are very much in this conversation. Deceptos, like we said, had that monstrous game after dropping Mongrel, and he's in top 10 now. So Deceptos is someone to keep your eye out. And look at how much closer the competition gets. Now it's looking like tie games between Castery, Haj, and Snazzy here, all a 1 point difference. So your top 10, no one's up for it being safe. I would say you're as far as your top 30, honestly. Any one of those guys can break in your top 10. But for top 5, these are your potential winners of the competition right now, because we're well past the halfway mark now.
Yeah, I think that's as it currently stands. Some players trending downwards. Scrib, was in the top 5, top 7 contention, now 19th place, almost out of that top 20. Benji Fishy trending upwards now in 15th place. And with 3 games left, I think there may be a little bit of a shakeup. Yes, that's the top 5 for now. We'll definitely keep an eye on those names and those storylines. But I think a lot's possible in these last 3 games. Will Benji Fishy continue to trend upward and maybe sneak into the top 3? But you called it, Kelly. First place is everything. This is Fortnite. Victor Royale is what matters the most. $16,000, then an $8,000 drop off to second.
I know you're saying Victory Royale matters the most in this sense, that as a winning the grand finals as a total. But again, Mr. Savage at first place with 0 Victory Royales. Really got to give him credit. That last game that we saw, game 5, was a bit slower paced, but I'm sure there's still a lot of highlights that you guys want to talk about.
That is right. We can go on and jump right into this to get you guys all caught up on the action and how things were unfolding on the field here. Fallout, we got the pleasure of obviously calling these moments here, but the Yobs crew always bringing us in with the beautiful perspectives to show how the action really unfolded.
Yeah, I love these free camera shots. That one we saw right there on Scrib, showing that right-hand advantage kind of concept I was talking about earlier. Scrib had the beautiful right-hand advantage shot. Speaking of good shots, it was a beautiful, I think, hunting rifle headshot that was picked up there. And that was not the last of them we saw in these highlights.
No, it wasn't. And here's a couple more. I think the Fallout line there was welcome to the montage, as you are getting hit back to back. And I mean, he called it correctly because all of them made it to the highlight package here. Here's the interesting one. Someone lands into the box of Jordberry, finally himself finding a few frags there. Here's Lanouf making this end game right now. Like we said, Let White getting ticked out to the storm zone. You would have thought he would have taken home the victory there, considering he had the shockwave, he had the height, and everything going in his favor. But Lanouf making a standing and a running for himself. We're counting him out for a little bit because he wasn't making any, but that right there propels him up to the conversation.
Yeah, although it doesn't propel him too far, 25th place is where he's now sitting. But after that performance, we could expect him to do better and better as these last 3 remaining games go. But I do want to pull up the the map right now for the drawing board, just so that you guys can talk a little bit more about the contention that you saw in that last game.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I really want to bring up what occurred with Mr. Savage here. We all know Mr. Savage is playing this upper portion. We thought initially it was a free drop, but it was not. So after his little skirmish there with Briz and he picks up that Elam, he rotates down south, but it was around here where things got really interesting. He finds a pack of Marauders, takes out the Marauders, and someone sneaks up off guard. It's going to be Baffo who dropped Benji Fishy from game 1. And Mr. Savage turns around with a crucial clutch set of nades. And not before, though. That is just like the little bit of cushion that he's going to fall into the Frenzy farm, ending at 66 here. So not making it too far this time around. A little bit of a white line straight into the zone. We all know as Fortnite players, you don't quite just want to rotate in too soon. Sometimes this is what happens when you kind of go straight in. You get hit with a congestion. And although it was back-to-back farm zones here, this is probably the result of his fail there. The fact that he got to the zone a little too soon. Players were in front of him, behind him. At that point, I think he was a little overambitious, hence the reason he was taken out kind of early in that game there.
Yeah, nothing too much to add on my end outside of, first off, the fact that we have a drawn board in 4-day right now is lit. We're taking good advantage of that. My man Monster's been crushing it too. Holly Hedges down to the Fortilla. I'd like to see a little bit about that fight. One reason is one player that drops here. It's Reason. We did give him a lot of love going into this tournament. He's played so consistently, one of the most consistent players we've seen throughout. I want to see if he can turn it up. He's in 43rd place right now. I think we can expect Reason to have a big games 6, 7, and 8. I want to see what he can do over in Holly.
Yeah, something that seems to be a reoccurring story in these last 5 games that we've seen is that you guys have mentioned the Shockwave launch was such a huge part of days 1 and 2, but we're not really seeing it towards the end game here in day 3. Why do you think that is, Monster?
Well, I think it's because Sebi's getting taken out a little early. As you can see, Sebi's in the conversation right now for taking home the competition. He may not have made it towards the end of every single game, but the fact that he took game 1 with the victory royale, the fact that he's still in the discussion right now, somehow lingering towards the top, is showing that, hey, he's making some big plays with it, but something's, falling along the ways there.
Yeah, I mean, Sebi definitely still in this. He's in 3rd place. He's only 22 points behind 1st place, Mr. Savage. From these top 5, maybe even top 10 players, any one of them can clinch 1st place. But before we get into game number 6, everyone, we're going to take a quick break, so don't go anywhere.